Okay, for this removal video, you're gonna need a 14mm socket, 7mm, 10mm, 3/8 extension, cordless ratchet, baby ratchet with another 10mm on it. This is for prying off them tabs. 10mm wrench. This is the actual pry tool. You're gonna also need this to pry off some of the fender from the bumper, and it's also helpful to have some glass cleaner to clean up afterwards. After you remove the 3 screws from this underneath the strip of rubber, you will need to take out these 2. There's going to be one back here, and then there's going to be one right here. You have to open the door for this one. Remember, this one's going to be a little bit longer than the rest of these. And now with this side, these big ones go on the bottom, and the little ones go right here and right here. So these big 2 go on the bottom, the medium one goes on the 3rd one, and then the small one goes on the 4th one up here. There it is. Once you pull the fender out from underneath like this and make it loose, you're gonna have to pull this out, go in behind here, and you can see the rest of the bolts. But before you do that, you're gonna have to take this part out because this is actually blocking the inside of there. And once you pull it out from in here, then you can see the bolts that you're supposed to get to. Once you pry this open, you'll have a foam piece in there like that you have to take out. And then you're gonna get to this part. You're gonna have to see that plastic square piece right there. You're gonna have to pull that black piece off. But before you do that, you're gonna have to loosen some of these circle pieces down here. Before you do that, I would do it about 3 to 4, maybe halfway down the car, just to pry this loose. Then you'll pry it this way to get these out. And then once you get this plastic piece out, there'll be bolts in there to get the fender out. Then once you remove three of these from in here, 3 of them, there's gonna be some push pins right here. You're probably gonna have the square ones. I have the round ones because I already took my square ones off to put this RTR splitter on, which is just underneath the OEM one. But yeah. And once you get it semi-open like this with the flathead, you're gonna wanna take one of these, get up behind it like this, and then pull it out. Sometimes it comes apart like that, that's okay. Just take your flathead and get behind there, and it'll come loose. You should have 3 of these black bolts from the skirt and then 3 of these push pins. Now that you remove those bolts, this should be loose enough to pull this way to loosen up that square piece from the black plastic piece right there in the middle. I used an extension, got the 3 bolts out. There was not 2, there was 3, my bad. But once you get them out and you see how loose this is, this black piece right here is going to come off by you getting that square piece out now. And then you can slide it out from here, and then there's gonna be the actual bolts to the fender behind it. Okay, once you slide this piece out, this is what it's gonna look like. Now you can get behind here and get the actual bolts to the fender, which is probably going to be 2 only. Okay, now that both those white bolts are out of there, which is them down there, you're gonna go in here now and get these 2. There's gonna be one up there and one right there. Only those 2. This bolt right here is gonna be coming off the bottom one that you took off, and then this one's gonna come off the top one, and I'll show you. That's gonna be the top one, and that's gonna be the bottom one. We should be pretty much done with this side and this top side. Now let's move on to this side. You're going to get in between the bumper. Right there is where underneath the bumper is, and also right here next to the headlight. After you take this one out, where the headlight is right here, there's gonna be one more where this gray screw is. This gray screw right here comes off, and then it slides out from underneath this part that's holding it on. This comes off, and then the last 2 screws and push pin should be located right there. You're gonna have to take that push pin off in the middle, and then these 2 large gray screws. Then that should be the last thing. I got that large screw out. That large screw was a 14mm, by the way. For the screw inside there, you're gonna need a small ratchet with a 10 millimeter. You're gonna wanna remember these 2 bolts are for the top of the bumper, and these 2 are for the bottom of the bumper. This one will be on the bottom, this one will be on the top. Basically what I mean is these are for the bottom part in here, right there. And then these 2 are gonna be for up in there. Okay, now the last step is going to be, you need a good thick towel. You're going to have to go in between here to get that really big push pin out. So take your pry tool and then take a towel, wrap it around it, and get in between there and pull them 2 apart. Okay, now that they're separated, you're going to reach behind here, and there's going to be a plastic piece. Looks like this. This is what those bolts are holding on to. That goes underneath there. Toss that to the side, and there's that damn tab that was annoying. You're going to have to figure out a way to push that up and pry that up out of there. And there you have it. The fender is off. You can take this off. Just make sure you put it back. I think it's for noise dampening. But basically, that's what it looks like with it off. You can clean your brakes now that your rim's off too, because I know mine's pretty filthy. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's off. Got 2 of them now.